Bunny Ty, you didn't say anything about that beautiful name, but she and Diana Ross are doing the bow tie. Diana Ross,
Miss Ross the boss.
no, Diana Ross, where she's doing the bow tie whiz reinterpretation. She's
okay.
She's
Come on, Toto.
yeah, she got her little Toto over there, the invisible Toto. Of course, yeah, Barry, and she is the soldier for Spelman College. And I am the Duke, Duke Ellington today. So we are celebrating. And Romeo, I can't see your shirt, bro. Your name is different.
Captain.
All right. He is Mr. Black All-American.
Yes.
All right.
Black All-American.
The sun is shining, shining, nice and bright, bright. The birds are chirping, chirping. And
I'm ready to fly.
Time to get ready, ready
for another day.
Hey, no one can stop us. Oh, we gon' learn to play. Oh, every day we learn and play. We do our best, so we'll be great. Oh, 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 oh. You do your best, best,
and I'll do mine,
mine. So let's get ready, ready, ready. 'Cause it's about that time. Good morning, morning, you good morning. How do you do? Good morning. Time to be great. Good morning. Good morning. Your dance and play. Good morning. Sun start to day. Good morning. Open your eyes. Good morning. Reach for the sky. Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. How do you do? Good morning, 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 morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. How do you do?
good morning.
You see me on my grind.
Woo, stars got to shine.
I'm a supernova.
Yeah, you see me taking over. Yeah,
I'm on the move. I got a way to shine to. So let me hear you say, every day we gonna learn and play.
And Munson is on mute, so we can't play. Hey, hey.
Hey, 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 hey.
While I'm trying to start this watch party.
Watch party, watch party. 9 a.m. wake up call. Wake up, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you with Ty Cooper, bow tie. She is channeling the Oz, and we are definitely doing it. Captain American, it is Romeo International, Soldier for Justice. She is out there definitely making sure everybody votes. Hails from Spelman College. And of course, the
Sister Soldier. That's gonna be
Hustle
my name.
Bunny over there.
Hey, Sister Soldier.
Soldier. And Hustle Bunny over there is. Oh. I didn't know which bunny it was, so I figured, you know.
I thought we changed it to love of money. Don't play with it.
It didn't change to anything. Just
Let me change it right quick. Disgust it.
Had that laying around, huh?
Oh boy.
It's like my ears are not. They're not.
Oh no, you
Oh,
must
boy.
have doing,
Oh my gosh.
y'all looking a lot like some type of mansion, like a well-known mansion. You know, y'all at a party, living it up.
Duke had a composition for everything. We're gonna bring out some great Duke Ellington compositions. So think
Okay.
that's it. I love it.
TR, you saw her skip that question, right?
I know, just like she skipped the DMV question.
All right. So you just had that laying around. That was just.
Oh, you're talking to me. Oh, yes, I did just have this thing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
What's the report? What is the report?
I had it laying around.
It's laying around. Old bunny outfit. Okay.
It's cute. It's real cute, Portia. Like,
It is really cute.
yes.
I think
got the cuffs,
I think the
everything.
inventiveness is definitely bow tie. I'm definitely
I
going.
love the makeup. Yes.
And the hair, the accessories are definitely there. Good morning to everybody. We hope that we're raising your spirits during COVID, since everybody can't really go hang out with parties. We here at Rolling Out AM, Wake Up Call, just want to say, cheer yourself up, put on a costume, and have fun. Don't let COVID get you down. So
Yep.
it is. We want you to smile and be happy and be safe during this moment. But remember, we're still celebrating life. It is all about celebrating life. So put your life together and get started. Tierra Bear, we're going to start on time today. It is your time. Go to
Let's do it. Let's do it. Sister Soldiers ready for the news. All right. So I saw this last night and I was so amazed at this young Black woman who dragged the Board of Police Commissioners out in Kansas City, Missouri. Do we have the video? Can we play the video?
Thank you.
All right.
That was a yes video coming soon.
Let me tell y'all something. She dragged them for Phil and make her stop what she was saying and interrupt her and cut her mic off.
Yep.
But she finished and they knew she was finished.
Wrong move. Wrong move. I do hope our producer shows the video. I like the message. I didn't like it.
Why? Because what?
Let's just play the video and let's play it.
So I'm not here begging anything of soulless white folks and self-preserving Black folks. You get one life, and you all in this room have chosen profits over people, and that's pathetic. So I'm going to spend the next 2 minutes reading y'all for a filth, something I'm sure nobody has ever done. Nathan, the gentleman in the vomit-colored men's warehouse suit, in desperate need of Bosley and a haircut, a former FBI agent who exudes white privilege and is the epitome of mediocrity, and who loves Trump so much that he hired his former attorney general at his firm. And it's so sweet because he spent most of this meeting looking away with his head in his hands. Or Pastor Mark of Victorious Life Church on 34th and Paseo, where the mission is to provide a place and opportunity to worship Jesus Christ and preach a message of hope and faith through God's holy word in the building. Meanwhile, he's subjecting Black people to terrorism and un-Christ-like behavior at the hands of KCPD outside the building. And Kathy, Miss, I'll get here before the other commission members, so I look as if I have empathy, and I'm excited to hear what they have to say. Meanwhile, I didn't have anything else to do at 8 o'clock in the morning but be rich and white and retired, so I'm here early. Or Don, owner of Wagner Investments, Blue Notes LLC, and part owner of the Royals, another rich and white and disconnected and out of touch person with nothing but pure apathy seeping through the bulging veins of your paper-colored skin. You age like...
Y'all.
Watch the whole thing.
When I tell you this sister read, like she did her research, she came all the way at them. Like she was not playing.
She went on for almost 4 minutes and just cut into those people and let them know. I love her. I love the fire in her. I just really, the mama in me is like, baby, like, kind of like watch it, because I want you out there, and I just want you to be careful when you go out. That's the mama in me. The mama in me is like,
what do you mean by,
so white people, sometimes white people, WYIPOPO. Anyway, sometimes they can be treacherous, and any little thing, like they might pull her over for something, and Mike Trump, you know what I'm saying? So I just really want her to be careful with her environment when she goes out, like just all of that. She has a target on her back, and so
it was passionate, but it wasn't calculated. You can't, if this whole, you can't show that much emotion, right? You could be emotional, but you can't show that much emotion in an attack type form to people who are already in the power, and you don't have a calculated move for those people in the power. What she did was, four white members on a board, whatever they are, she went after them. Now I'm with Portia. Don't think for 2 seconds that neither one of them can't push a button that affects your life.
But what if she sees that her purpose isn't necessarily about her, it's about her people, her community? If you aren't you willing to die for it, then people die for our right to vote. So isn't she a good example of what a martyr for your community, what a martyr for the blackness, for the future looks like?
You can scream as loud as you want to, but if nobody can hear you scream, what's the point? It ain't
we're talking about it right now.
You gotta remember that it may not be your moment, it may not be your style, but you can't revise this young person's passion, speaking for Black people, calling people out in ways that you don't. It's gonna make everybody uncomfortable. You are gonna fear for it. If fear is in your spirit and you are not the one to be there. Sandra Bland spoke out. And Malcolm Gladwell put her in his book and put her voice and her very words. So anybody who didn't hear it, she still lives. She died so that others could understand. When Tamika Mallory is out there saying, I don't care if they burn all of the buildings down. I want us to be free. They are there. They are the actual new. Martin Luther King wasn't dreaming for himself. And so
plan though. You're talking about people
when they are speaking and
they still get you can still get assassinated, and you're Martin Luther King with a plan. So her plan is to say what she has to say. She didn't say that out in the street. She said that to the commissioning board of police of Kansas City, and now we're talking about it, and they're going to continue to talk about it for days again.
I get it. The mama in me is like, baby, be careful.
No, we understand careful, but I don't want us to not understand that there are new movements. She is part of this current uprising, and and all of a sudden, all of us around the country, and it gives everybody pause, Romeo, to at least understand that, you know what, you may not have heard it, but we're saying it. And it may not be the rest of the community up here saying it, but the nation is going to share it, just like we did, and say it. So you can understand that it's not it. White privilege is not something that people are comfortable about.
I agree.
They're hoping that it's like a ghostly factor and we just see them taking full advantage of everything. High interest loans. How can you in good conscience have high interest loans? How can you in good conscience pay somebody $7 an hour? How can you pay somebody $8 an hour? Literally, and tell them that's a full-time job.
Also, I believe that any of us we all have a target on us, regardless of whether we speak out or not. Like the people, George Floyd, all these people, they weren't out in the open yet, and
Breonna Taylor was asleep.
Yes, so it's kind of just like I understand a cautionary from Portia coming from another Black woman, seeing a younger Black woman, and it's like, oh, it is a cringe moment, but there is that sacrifice that she is putting out there to say, I don't care. I'm gonna read y'all rights, regardless of whether you like it or not. Come for me if you like. But just like in corporate world and the corporate America, they talk about retaliation. Now everybody is watching her. So as a community, we need to come together and make sure she is okay, because she is one of ours and she is trying to speak out and use her voice. And I think it's admirable of what she is doing. I just see her as, she's trying to progress through as a young person. It may not have been as calculated or that we see, but we don't know. It could have been.
Because she had
and there may not be another moment like that one. And so you're in that particular moment, because this was the moment they were talking about policing, and this is the moment that everybody is moving forward. So it's not one of those moments where we can wait. So I don't want our community to not understand it. Ice Cube is on TV. Everybody can watch him almost every night. But his songs, when it would talk to Cube, was all about protest. It was a protest. And they were definitely saying F the police. And it was a reason. And we're back in that season right now. And young people have taken up the mantle. Young women in particular are coming through. They are on the front line saying this will not be a moment that you miss, and we're not going to miss this moment.
Don't move these streets without a plan.
But okay, my question, right? When you say have a plan, right? What you want us to just say here, Mr. Officer? This is my list of grievances and what I think we should do about. We've been doing that for like what 400 years. Like
no, what I'm saying, you said something very key. That young lady spoke to the head of the police. What was it? The police chiefs or whatever,
commissioners in Kansas City.
The Board of Police Commissioners in Kansas City, the people that run the entire police department in Kansas City. Okay, number one, if you're going to speak that way in that passion to those people, you need to have a plan directed right after for those people. Because
she wants to defund the police, and they're not going for that.
And part of what she's sharing is these people are really not interested in it. They're not having any policing problems. You probably had the wrong people here. Why do they care about policing? And you're totally out of connected to what the issue is. And so she wants to speak to the crowd and say, this is who you have making choices for you. People who have no skin in the game, people who are not committed to change. They're not likely to be harassed. They're not likely to be accosted. And they just got this position because, and it is now time for us to change. So we all have to make some moves. And Romeo, I'm sharing with you in this video, Instagram, social era, everything is going to be revisited.
So let me tell you this.
All tapes will be played back again. And there's no safe. For Black people, there's no safe. There's no safe. There's no safe position for Black people. They don't care how much money you have. They come for you. And it seems like even when you get more money and you pay for whatever your wrong was, you still could end up where Bill Cosby is right now.
What she did not do, so she does that, and she inspires the community, and everybody gets riled up. And then after it's over with, the community's looking at her like, so what we do next? That's what
that's fine.
I think that you misjudge what we're out here.
At least you raised the bar. At least she took a position, and at least she's having an increasing conversation about consciousness in our community.
So
it keeps the movement on Front Street. The movement does not need to be muted. If you weren't talking about it right now, we could be talking about somebody bought a Birkin bag, which is so ridiculous. We should be canceling all Birkin bags right now. Cancel them. Buy a bag made by a Black person. Buy a bag made by, just cancel them. Stop having aspirations that are outside your race. Start to have aspirations inside. Support designers who are really working hard to make bags. I mean, be proud of who we are. Don't sit up there and walk around, have somebody ask you who made your bag and say, I paid $50, and be proud and not be defined by bags. They want us to be defined by things versus spiritual values as a community and a culture.
Come on, y'all see that hat moving every time, Munson.
I'm just saying, amen. So I definitely
channeling dope today.
I definitely applaud her bravery. I applaud her passion. I applaud. I even applaud the way that she did it because she addressed every last one.
That's what
we're tired. We're tired.
That's what a public forum is.
Yeah, we're not sitting here trying to appease.
And you know, Romeo, they don't want to open that mic up often. Like in Chicago, that mic has about 100 people waiting.
Yeah, as soon as she walked off Portia, they was like, "That's it, we done for the day."
Yeah. So it's just a lot of me that's scared for her. I just want her to watch her back and be cognizant of her surroundings at all time because.
But she's been out here. She's out here every single day. She's bringing up constant people. She's not one of those people who got up there mad one time and said something. She's out here every single day.
Yeah. No, we get it.
Rioting.
No, we don't get it. We get that we didn't know her. We are happy to know her. This is a new young soldier that we're knowing.
You know, she's been out there. She has over like.
But that's my point. It's new. She's new. She's new to me. She's new to a lot of people, and this will make her newer and more powerful. And we need to know that there's somebody in Kansas City, just like we have people in Atlanta in the movement. When you think about those people, Mary Pat, she's young. She's in the movement. You know, when you think of Tamika Mallory going to a 12-city tour. I mean,
I think when it comes to when it comes to Romeo's point of like trying to have a plan, like Harriet Tubman, she didn't know the exact route and she didn't have GPS directions too. She just said, y'all, we got to follow this star. Y'all gonna come, y'all gonna come. But it was the fact that we just gotta get there. And as Black women, we don't sit around and get a lot of things handed to us and then get the choice of having the time to figure things out. No, we have to just go. And we're gonna figure it out along the way. But we can't sit here in bondage. No, look at that star and get to that star. And that's what this young girl is doing.
It does not just affect you or her. It affects her community and where she's at. We just saw that in Philadelphia, where a young man got killed. All of a sudden, now 30 police officers got assaulted, and over 90 people in that neighborhood got arrested. You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying that if she's going to speak that way in public and put a target on her back, like
they've been arresting us. We've been have war with the police. We've been doing this for years, and that leads to change because we have to have these conversations. We have to have this friction. Without friction, we're going to have passive microaggressions forever and ever.
Step out here without a plan. Watch. I'm telling y'all, step out in 2020.
I want her to carry a gun. I want her to make sure she got a CCW license, and I want her to be aware of her surroundings.
So for our audience members out there, I think if we synergize exactly the discussions that we're talking about today, we are not saying that young lady should not have protested. She should not have done what she's done. No. So we are not saying that, y'all. What we are merely just stating is that we love that she used her voice. We have some some hosts that is really just talking about they're passionate about her safety. They want to know about her safety. But to that point, like Tiara said, Romeo, it is more so there has to be a sacrifice. Sometimes it is the cost of death. Sometimes it is the cost of 90 people going to jail. Sometimes it is this, sometimes it is that. But you cannot plan a revolution. Yeah, you can't plan that. It's like it has to organically matriculate. It has to some things you can plan based on like an end goal, like I need this act to pass, or I need this, or I need that.
Million man march. Or if you say, I got this great speech to give at this public forum, all of a sudden they planning for it. Mm-hmm. So they say, you know what? Put her at the back of the line. And she never gets to speak on the mic. I mean, that's part of the strategy.
So Ty, I'm not. You're right, but what I'm equating my thoughts to, not a plan of action. Like for example, she spoke to them. Great. Now, once she steps off that stage, hey guys, this is what we're gonna do to get each one of them out of here. She didn't do that.
Hey guys, have that. You think that she's gonna tell that to the world? Because if we're listening, they're listening too. She might not be saying that to the world online, but they have rooms and basements and all of that right now. Black people are in. I'll be in them little Zoom meetings too.
Okay. Never mind. We're gonna cover up every action of having a plan when people step on these platforms. I need Black people. What I personally need when Black people speak for other Black people in their community, I need them to have a plan for that community. Don't just go out there and say rah, 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 get everybody riled up, and you have
let me ask you a question. When George Floyd died, right, and everybody said we outside, they didn't have no plan about what was going to happen when they got outside, but they went outside. What did that spark? What did that inspire? Cities across the country was getting outside. Cities outside were protesting. It turned into riots. It got a little but at the same time, they didn't say, oh, we're going to plan for do this and we're going to show up here on this street. No, we was like everybody on Twitter calling people, let's just get outside. Let's rumble.
That community in that city did have a plan, T. Yes, they did. Because that's why.
You're telling me when George Floyd died, cities across the country had a plan of what was going to happen?
No, not across the country. That community had a plan. That community.
Time out. We still got a couple of reports to do, and we got guests coming. We're gonna agree to disagree. And
that was good though, y'all.
That was good banter though.
I'm just saying, be outside. I ain't got time to wait.
Meet me outside. How about that?
Okay.
Okay, let's finish your report, Tiara, and then our guests are starting to trickle in. So
That was heated.
All right. So, in lighter news, Chadwick Boseman's brother reveals he is in cancer remission after 2 years battling with his actual diagnosis of cancer. So, it's bittersweet because you can see there is a very they look a lot alike. There's a very like you could tell that they're brothers, obviously. And it's like for the mother, one son made it through cancer, the other son didn't make it. So, you know.
Yeah, the mama.
It's crazy because you know, when we think about, I know when I think about cancer, like we're still in October, so it's still Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I normally only think about breast cancer and not these other forms of cancer, and it's just really sad because it looks like his is genetic or hereditary in his family. It seems like it's just. Yeah, it's really sad.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna send prayers out to him that he remains in remission.
Yeah. I wonder what his passions are, if he's into arts at all. Because I know they're trying to do the Black Panther too, but they don't know how.
Letitia Wright needs to go ahead because I thought that was a storyline, right, Romeo? The Black Panther transforms into a woman at the end or something like that.
Two choices. Yeah, it can either go towards his sister, who Letitia Wright, like you said, or Michael B. Jordan can actually become the new Black Panther. So they have an option.
He was the evil one, wasn't he?
But what they gonna do with Killmonger?
But they got him together at the end.
Right. So they get in the comic books, as he heals himself, he can heal himself to a better person and transition.
Oh, okay.
I need to read y'all comics. See, Tabby on me about my comic books.
Okay. I like the female version better, but okay.
A woman leading.
You know,
bad person to a good person.
So let's talk about the matriculation of being a bad person to a good person, but also too let's talk a little bit more about cancer. It's so everybody make sure you are getting checked out. Make sure you are doing the proper things. If it's you drinking tea to cleanse your body, let's just all be aware. I'm so happy because we got a guest coming on later today that's going to talk about ways in which we can prevent certain diseases and things like that. But if we're not forward thinking about our health and what we do, put in our bodies, then that's really important. That's where it starts, is what we consume. So y'all drink the right thing, eat the right thing, stay healthy.
I agree. I don't want to agree too loud because I might have a plan, and Tiara hates plans.
Lord. First, we're not gonna do the narrative that I hate having planned. I'm all for plan action. That's why I'm voting. I do like plans.
Sorry.
Portia, we got some folks asking whether or not you are a bunny or a kitty or a cat, or they trying to figure this out. Portia, you gotta let them know.
Y'all can't see my ears.
First of all, y'all asking the wrong question. Y'all question should be, what closet did she go into to get this? That's what y'all need to be asking. Nobody has a bunny outfit laying around, y'all.
They said one kind of crooked, y'all. So the
not
ears
a crooked
are
bunny.
supposed to be crooked. If you're a bunny or a cat, like that's
Oh yeah, got the little flap.
life. Yeah.
Ty and Portia got a secret life. These outfits is not supposed to be in your home.
Look, I got
Y'all can't see my ears.
come through. We coming through today.
Hold my camera like this so y'all can see.
Got 2 more days to come through.
Right. 2 more days to come through, y'all. We're trying to get through this COVID time.
Yeah.
Lifts everybody's spirits. Hopefully we making y'all laugh out there and just get good vibes.
Yeah, man.
All day long.
Romeo.
Captain America.
Look, I I'm just planning to be better, Ty. That's all I'm doing. Hey, y'all keep an eye on Ty. Keep an eye on Ty, Portia, man.
Hey, man, come on, y'all.
I'm gonna let go with that outfit there, Portia.
Right.
Yeah. How did they go? What we need to
What?
do?
Get your booties to the pole. That's what that sounds
Wait,
like.
I can't remember. I can't.
Oh,
Right.
That sounds like a good bit. That sounds a little bit closer to that right now.
Right.
It was
Mhm.
looked like you was
a twerking moment at this point.
Yeah. It looked like you was on.
Must be you got somebody from P Valley on here.
Not today, but we're gonna have him come back though, y'all. Because we need to have him come back because season 2 ain't too far. It ain't.
You was performing with Mulatto last night, huh? On the BET Hip Hop Awards.
It's your
Right.
That was last night.
Good morning, y'all.
Morning.
Good morning.
Memo that there was a costume.
We didn't know we were supposed to dress up.
Oh,
Y'all are okay. It is okay.
And Halloween's my favorite, so y'all just have to go
what?
online and see my costume.
All right, well then check in tomorrow. We're gonna see again. Y'all come back again. Everybody doing. We want to get MSP excited about this whole Halloween. Hello.
Oh, we're excited. We're excited.
You know what?
I'm Catwoman this year, so
I'm a goddess. I'm a goddess.
Costume.
Yes.
Y'all always bring your beautiful cheekbones, the highlights, the smiling.
Yep.
we popping, melanin popping. That's the costume. Right?
Every single day. Mm-hmm.
It's every 365.
unapologetically black.
Yes.
Yes. There we go.
Donna Tiara picking on me.
I heard.
What's going down?
Do y'all think it's
I
picking
take my
up?
earrings off? What we
Take your earrings off for him.
It's too early for all that.
early in the morning.
I know that's early. What was it? We didn't even hear. What were you guys debating?
Well, it wasn't a debate. We were speaking about the young lady who spoke out to the police council.
Okay.
Y'all hear about that?
It went viral late last night.
Okay. No.
And
the council, yes. And she told them off. Yes. She killed it. Yes. Yes.
Thank you. Yes, she did, right?
And Shay, I said.
It doesn't look like you're gonna get her on your team.
Hold on. Shay, WBC, and Don. All I said.
Let me change my name.
Claudius Johnson, stop playing. Go ahead.
All I said was, all me and Portia said was that if the young lady was going to speak that way to that group of people of power, all I'm saying is have a plan afterwards. Don't be a black person speaking for a community if you don't have a plan for that community. That's all I'm saying.
So why do you think she doesn't have a plan? Because she didn't express it at that time?
I said that we meet in private.
He didn't express it afterwards. He didn't express it on social media or go.
That doesn't mean she doesn't have a plan. It's just she had to get that point across at that time.
Harriet Tubman didn't tweet about the Underground Railroad.
Opportunity and attention.
You are so right, Tia. She did not.
I was just asking because I've been in situations where like I just never had the opportunity or attention of a particular group of people, like, because I just never was allowed in that space. And in that moment, it's like you have to choose, like, do I just shut up because I don't have a plan? Or do I say something now? And then do I depend on my village and my community to also step up and not expect me to do it all, right? Because there's people who have a plan, right? There's people
right.
I don't always have to have the plan, but maybe I have the voice and I have access to a space. Now, what I would recommend this young lady do is how does she stay in that space, leverage that moment, and maybe bring in people who have a plan.
Right.
My hope is that she's connected with people who have that piece of support for her. So she ain't got to be another Black woman doing everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, what I would love to see, and I know it ain't been that long because if this happened last night, it's really early for me at least. She probably ain't had time to hit up her homies, but like I'm taking that time to now connect with the people who have the plan, who know how to strategize, who know how to execute. So she's not out here just like in a moment that passes and those people are just like, oh, she's just an angry Black woman. And you know,
Felicia, Felicia.
Okay, let me introduce her real quick so we have the right.
Yes.
So just so we have, so this is my girl. Love her. She's doing amazing work here in the Twin Cities. It's Felicia Perry. She's the executive director for West Broadway Coalition, which is right here in North Minneapolis, where we have received a lot of civil unrest and people came and terrorized our community during the George Floyd time. But she's doing great work for Black businesses, our own Don and I. And so welcome, Felicia Perry.
Hey, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was like, oh, I'm gonna like this Black folks talking about stuff.
I know, this is your alley.
Well, thank you all for having me. I'm so happy and excited to be here. I love Shay and everything Shay does. And then I'm recently, meeting Don. And this, I think it'll be like my first time like really getting to chat with Don. So I'm really excited.
Well, welcome to the show. We definitely appreciate you being on. Definitely want to hear what you have to share with us this morning. If it's anything like you've shared just now, we want to hear.
Don't kill it.
Yes.
And get to it.
All right, so you all let me know,
well, I'm going to jump in, Felicia. We know you are passionate about all things Black and powerful. And one of your many passions is decolonizing philanthropy. What will be the state of Black businesses in urban areas as we move into 2021? Are Black businesses ready for this next wave of the pandemic and COVID-19?
That's a good question. And it's interesting. I get asked a version of that question a lot. People usually just assume that we're not ready, is what I'm noticing. People assume that we're not ready for a lot, y'all. And I'm sure like Shay's even experienced that in different spaces where the expectation just tends to be really low for Black business owners, unfortunately. And I think some of that is just like culturally, the way we move and the way we almost have to hide that to be considered professional. And so if it shows up, it's like, oh, they're not ready, they're not professional. But, we have really brilliant minds, it's just embedded in our DNA that we're some of the most innovative. All the data shows that Black women particularly start more businesses than any demographic in this country, right? And, but we get the least amount of like funding and support and resources. And there's like all kinds of data that shows that there's a woman, Kenya McKnight Ahad, she owns this business called Black Women's Wealth Alliance. And if you find her and find that, she got all kind of information.
She's been on the show. She's been on the show.
So y'all already,
they met her. Yeah.
I learned a lot, specific information from her about that actually helps inform and drive some of my work. So for me in my position, understanding a little bit more about what the needs are of like all the businesses in the community, but we have a lot of Black businesses. It really helps me shape like our programming and all that stuff to better support. So as far as our Black businesses ready, I would say that some of us are and some of us are not. And if the readiness has to do with our access to resources like technical assistance, financial capital, the ability, to develop, then we're not as ready as other demographics, specifically white men. And so because they're dominating that, and when you think about development, you think about wealth building and ownership, and those are things that we just don't automatically have access to. We absolutely have to work harder. But like I know people, like I know Black people in my neighborhood do have access, who have figured out a way. And a lot of them are finding ways to try to teach the rest of us how to do that. So what I appreciate specifically in my community are those of us. And so I don't know who other people roll with, but those around me, we are doing something. So I don't tend to have that doom and gloom sort of mentality because I'm not surrounded by that. Even though I live in this particular community, I am surrounded by really brilliant Black folks who have been doing stuff, who have amazing ideas about stuff. So then when I get access, when somebody hires me to do a job like this, I don't know how that happens. Sometimes I don't even know how that happened. And I have access to things like this, or, I'm able to raise a bunch of money quickly, then those innovations and those ideas are the things that I tell these rich white people to fund.
So you do.
Isn't it more of a strategic placement type of thing? Because I'm in Atlanta, right? And what I've seen is Black businesses in low income areas, they might get something. Black businesses in neutral areas and Black businesses that are in real just high volume might not get it. But that neutral area, they'll feed that neutral area funding, money like it's nothing, because I have a friend of mine who has a yoga spot in the middle of downtown. Within 3 years, that whole area has built up. He's a Black man, with a yoga place, but in 3 years, that area has built up more around the city than anything. So is it more of where your Black business is strategically?
I mean, yes, it is that and a lot of things, but I know for years, like back when I was doing business lending, all the old white dudes, they'd always be like, location, location, location. And also, restaurants all fail. So it was like embedded in me. It was embedded in me and like actually colonized in me, like this rhetoric around like where we can and can't do something. And I'm just telling you, it's not true. I mean, I know that if we believe it, like it is true, but like I've experienced that it's not true. Now, I do live and work, and like my work is in a community that has historically been divested from. It wasn't always that way, but it was after those protests in the 60s and Black people were allowed to be on this particular corridor and open businesses allowed, it is when white flight, as they call it, happened here in this particular area. Right. And so we became a community of Black folks across these roads that literally divided us by like demographic, like the Jewish people were here, like we're where the Jewish people were actually. And so what happened was they still own a lot of these buildings. Now we're allowed some access. So as I'm understanding this history, right? Even just recently, they got racial covenants removed from the houses over here where like literally you couldn't sell to a Negro or all these different like non-white people, as they named them, like your mortgage. It was built into it and the federal government said, yes, that's okay. So like, that's only recently been overturned in the last couple of years here where I live. So as I'm starting to learn, right, about these things, what I'm trying to do is identify places and people I know where I can change that. When I'm hearing about stuff about mortgages and land, I know that's CPED in my city who I need to connect with. I know people in CPED. I know Black people in CPED. I know sisters in CPED, right? So I call them up and learn a little bit more. Now, so I'm one of the people willing to do like some research so that I can strategize a little better. But to your question, yes, it is strategy, but like, you can find success here. You got to know the strategy. We have a multi-million-dollar business member whose business is right down. It's on the same block as mine. It's a brother. And you know who I'm talking about, Shay.
I do. He's killing it. He's about to kill it. He's about to kill the whole game.
And you have no idea. And there are a couple of folks like him there. Yeah. I feel like part of my job is to connect with them, see where their intention is around how do we reinvest this wealth in the community. This particular Black man, he wanted to know how he could hire another person. So I found, a young brother to work there. I know he's looking for another person now. So I'm like, okay, well, who do I know who can do this thing that hasn't had a chance, right? Right. So I think people like us, right?
And that's what we don't get, right? We don't get the chance. We don't get the chance.
Exactly.
Right.
But I think if we're strategic, Shay, Dawn, Romeo, is your name Romeo?
All day, every day.
I think us
4/7
strategically placed, because Shay, do you know any Black businesses like say like in Uptown? I think that's kind of maybe the area that.
Well, there was some, but they're all gone now because of the the looting and stuff. They've all closed down, which is unfortunate. So I have a question for you.
Support systems there though.
Right. Yeah.
So what I know about the business district in that area and the people who run it, and what I know about the Black businesses there, that they, first of all, the people who are supporting businesses there, they don't look like me or us. Right. And so when you think about who they're supporting, who they even think to support, who do they know? We're in a town where people help their friends, right?
Right. For sure here. I don't know about
these people have one black friend, right?
You know?
These people have one black friend, and that's the only one they're helping. And
it's
not
us
enough
right
that
here.
they're doing better than them.
It's us right here. So question, as a Black person that is neutral for business, what does it look like for sustainability next year for us? Living outside of, let's say, grants or the loans right now.
Yeah, don't depend on those grants. We're working too hard to make those grants even fit us, right?
Right.
All to depend on them. Like, people are really working on it, right? But like, it's not going to be enough fast enough for the urgency of what we need. We really need to be preparing right now and thinking strategy wise, how, if you haven't already, because you might be a little bit late, how do you need to pivot your business so you're still meeting needs and demands? It might not be the same ones you were like a year ago or 2 years ago, but what value added service products, like we had businesses, beauty businesses who switched to start selling a bunch of hand sanitizer for a while. Totally different ingredients, some of it different packaging and stuff, but they made some money in the meantime when COVID hit. I mean, breweries were switching from making alcohol to just making like loads of hand sanitizer here, right? And so I think we really need to start thinking about how do we, be in this. For me, it's been preparation mode a lot. Like earlier this year, I think we should have been. But if you're late with that, get yourself prepared. Next year is going to be the tough year because like in a lot of the ways like business and economics work, that wave is going to come afterwards. And if we're still having like waves of COVID spiking, we're on Wellness Wednesday. So we really need to be thinking about our health. If you're the entrepreneur and you're the boss, if you have not been taking care of yourself, you're not serious about your business. So like even on a very basic level, like you need to be getting your home prepared. You need to be getting like your mind and body prepared. And when we're talking about getting your business prepared, this is the time to invest in those consultants who know what they're talking about, because they're the persons who are being tapped by the people who have the money.
Right.
Because they're like, oh, who's connected to businesses? People like me at a business association. They're hitting up these different consultants to try to find out what should we invest in and all that. So you need to be tapping into those particular resources. If you have the money, invest in getting help.
Okay. Well, with that being said, thank you so much, Felicia. You are a plethora of information. We love everything you do in helping this community. As always, this is Don and Shay with Let Go, Let Flow. Inhale the positive, exhale the negative. Good seeing you, Romeo, and everyone. And make sure you vote. Vote, 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 vote. Next time we're talking next week, we'll have a new president.
And Felicia, thank you for telling people to have a plan, because that's all I'm trying to tell people.
Oh, goodness. We do need a plan. We do need a plan. You're right. You're right.
Thank you. Yup, you sure did.
Yes.
Appreciate all of y'all. Peace, y'all.
All right. Peace.
Thank you for coming.
Have a good day.
Thank you, Felicia. Have a great day.
Yeah, goddess.
Bye.
Romeo, you thought that they was gonna agree with you, huh?
Don got my back. Let me tell you right now. Don got my back. Tiara don't want that smoke.
Tiara, she's not fooling with you today, and she is.
First of all, I can't wait to come back because I actually just found that KJ Brooks is the girl who went on last night, received the Civil and Human Rights Award from the Urban League, SCLC, founded by Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., NAACP, and other organizations for her activism in Kansas City. She received this on September 4th. So if you don't think she's been out here with a plan in her head that she might not have told you yet, you might have got her misconstrued.
Yeah, so
Romeo
didn't
run off the
that was her that was in front of the police, right? That was her standing up to the police. That wasn't an accidental picture. That was actually her standing in front of the police by herself, right?
I believe so.
Yeah. Okay.
I believe so.
Cool.
Wow.
Gotta guess
So she's the president of the other organizations, but we'll get back to that.
Yes. Hi, Sage. Is it Sage?
It's Sage, also known as
That
Tanika
is an
Hassan.
amazing name.
I answer to it all.
Oh.
I love that name. Come through, Sage. I got my Sage right here.
Yes, let's get this day started. Yes.
I'm about to spark it right now.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you
I'm
ought
about to
to
spark
light
it.
it up right
Mm,
now.
So
All right. So, hey, welcome to our show. Welcome to the AM Wake Up Call. Can you introduce?
Look, I didn't know we were dressing up. Oh my gosh! Like I should have went and did something. I want to be a fairy. Or pretend I'm a fairy. Okay, I'm a fairy in real life. Okay.
This hair is popping.
Hold on.
Thank you.
Yes. So you already bringing it. So tell everyone who you are and what you got going on.
Okay, so I am Tanika Deshawn, aka Sage, aka your favorite healer's favorite healer. I am owner of Hands of Sage Incorporated, which is a Black-owned tea company. Tea and wellness is what I specialize in. Basically, my goal is to educate our community, particularly in how to heal themselves naturally by changing their diet, incorporating herbs, and of course, incorporating tea as well.
That is amazing. So we were talking a little bit about health and wellness and to make sure how you're drinking the right thing. You got Tiara, she got her sage going. Like
yes.
That is very important. And when we talk about, now we're in breast cancer awareness month, we're still in the month of October, and people are aware of things that, you know, we need to do in order to, you know, have self-prevention or at least understand exactly how to do breast exams, self-exams. But let's go a little bit deeper. Take us a little bit deeper, Sage, because I know that you said you the healer's healer. And I'm like, oh, okay then. So talk to us a little bit more about, you know, the things that you've incorporated in your tea business or what we need to do in order to continue to stay healthy.
Right.
Okay, so just a little bit of background because everybody always wants to know, well, why listen to her? I have been an herbalist for the last 13 years. It started with my son, my oldest. At the time, they weren't sure if he had asthma, allergies, or what was going on with him. And after being in the drugstore for the third time, 1 week alone, I was like, okay, you know what? It's time to take my baby's health back. We got to do something different. So I began changing his diet. I began doing research. I began taking things out, putting things in, and it actually worked. And we don't do processed foods. We don't do sugar often. We still working on the sugar part. We increased his water. We increased his greens and things like that. So from there, then I got certified and then also furthered my education some more. So I'm actually working on a certified nutrition as well as functional medicine, even as we speak. But I have been certified, as an herbalist as well as an iridologist for the last 13 years now. And so in answer to your question, though, basically anything that you put in your body is going to come out of your body, whether it come out in acne, whether it come out in cough, whether it come out in fatigue. What you put in your body is so important. So my goal, especially during these times, is to boost your immune system, is to manage your stress. When I say I'm your favorite healer's favorite healer, a lot of times we as women, we as healers, we as entrepreneurs, we as people are out there taking care of everybody else. And there's nobody actually there to remind us, hey, did you drink water today? Hey, when the last time you had some greens in your life? So that is my goal, is to remind us as we get busy, as we're doing our day by day, to make sure that we're taking that time to refill and to pour back in ourselves. The tea came into a place because I actually had a lot of clients that were coming from pharmaceuticals and taking a lot of pills. And they were like, girl, if I got to take one more pill, I'm over it. And so because each herb has a medicinal property, I was like, well, if I take the elderberries, the actual berries, and put it with the lemongrass and add some nettle, you get vitamins, minerals, you boosting your immune system, you lowering fever in case, and it tastes good. Hold on, wait, y'all. I think I got a tea. And so from there, it started with one tea. It actually started with the women's tea. All my girls was over at the house and they would be like, girl, make that one that you make that don't give me cramps anymore. And I would say, okay, that we can do that, I think. And back then, y'all don't judge me, but I was using tea bags. And I would just mix the tea bags up. And then after a while, I was like, wait, what's in this tea? Because it's just dust. But what's supposed to be in here? And so I would take those properties, and that's where the Sage Moon tea came from. So that was my first. So I developed the Sage Moon tea, and now I have a total of about 12 pre-made, if you will, where I have the recipes already together. But because I know the herbs, I also have the ability to custom blend any tea. So if you say, hey, I really like that chai that you make, but can you do it without the clove? I absolutely can. We can just simply take the clove out. So I have the ability to actually customize the teas in addition to the ones that I already have set up.
Wow. Well, can I ask a question? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So my question is, you see a lot of women now are paying attention to self-care. How has it been using your skills in this pandemic when a lot of women, Black women specifically, are starting to see the importance of self-care? How has your business, changed or accelerated because of more people's attention to their mental health and things that are going on in their homes since the pandemic has started?
I would say business has definitely grown, to say the least. And it's a bittersweet situation because business has grown in some senses where people are already in the midst of sickness. They're already in the midst of dis-ease. And so it's my job, or my pressure, if you will, where they're like, okay, fix it. I've been eating bad and now my blood pressure high, and fix it. But on the flip side, it's been really awesome because I've also been able to educate, because now we're in a time where people are more open to receive. I'll have family members call and tell me, well, what was that tea, girl, that you got? What the website, girl? Hold on a second. So people are now more open. Seeds that have been planted are now actually growing, where people are paying attention and they're realizing that, yes, doctors have their place. Don't y'all come after me. Doctors absolutely have their place. Right. But we also have to be able to take responsibility for our own health. We have to say, okay, well, if the doctor says I have high blood pressure, well, what is it? Is it the stress of life every day that's causing my blood pressure to be high? So I think we're at a point right now, I think just with everything going on in the world, where people are not taking what they see for face value, but they're actually like, okay, well, what is really happening? If I'm sick, what's really going wrong? If I'm stressed, is it because of what I'm watching? Am I really doing too much? So we're at a really, really good space. And I really hope that we keep the momentum going, where we're not just accepting whatever is given to us. We're actually trying to figure out getting to the root cause and making better changes.
It's definitely a shift that's happening in our culture, where we are saying, okay, where did this COVID come from? Like, where did the coronavirus come from? Like, it's nothing natural. So what we have to go back to is some of these natural herbs and things that, our great grandparents, they lived for years and years, and they didn't have these things. Like it's really important that I love your mission and what you have going on, Sage, because you're taking it all the way back. You're taking it back to what God put on this earth for us to consume in our bodies. And you're looking at things like, okay, you can prevent or try to prevent some things that may be hereditary or not hereditary if you just use what God had already put on this earth. And you're doing that by educating and also creating these teas that can, like, I think about the elderberry, and we talk about, that's all I've heard with the coronavirus. If you take this elderberry, it is like you create your body to fight back these certain things. So I think that's really important. And, I purchased teas from you, but you've also gifted me with some teas, and they are amazing. I go to sleep like a
Wait. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Hype me up. Say it again, Ty.
Yes.
Hype me up.
You gotta send Tiara definitely some tea and our guests, because your teas are amazing. They are here. I am a witness. So it was a hard time for me to go to sleep because my mind is always going. And I purchased, I can't remember the title of it, but I purchased.
Perfect Peace.
Yes, Perfect Peace.
I love the name.
Yes, Perfect Peace. And it gives me and my husband perfect peace. We have it right before bed. It's almost therapeutic to us. And it just really just eases us. And it's not like, like we're out now. It's a very organic way that we just perfectly, peacefully go to sleep.
Yeah.
So definitely, I love.
Yeah. What's the website? What's the Instagram? Where can we find you?
Okay, so everything is Hands of Sage. So if you go to my IG, it's Hands of Sage. That's mostly where I am. It's still Hands of Sage on Facebook as well. And then also the website is www.handsofsage.com. Super simple. I usually do anywhere between 4 to 7 days before it ships out. Because everything I do is in small batches. I don't have anything just sitting around. Everything is made small batches, custom, things like that. And I take pride in that. And I put a lot of love in my packaging and everything that I do. So 4 to 7 days usually. I'm trying to lean more towards the 4. But yeah.
So we love it. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing. Ty, we're gonna have to get her involved with Peace and Purpose. Y'all talking about peaceful tea and sleep and all that. Definitely have to get her involved with Peace and Purpose. But I'm going. I need to order me some tea because I'm a tea drinker. I just started on coffee.
Yes.
I've been a tea drinker.
And then also I will say I do have it's in my personal stash, but I'll share it. I have created a tea that is very close to the coffee flavor that has a roasted dandelion root with a caramel cinnamon situation. And it's mighty sexy if I do say so.
Okay,
myself.
wait a minute. Sage, just hold it 1 minute. You got to send that to us. Like,
okay.
I will send you the guest information because ladies, like we can come on with this tea and do an extra, like, come on, like this is amazing. This is awesome. Yeah, we definitely got to try that. Eat it early in the morning, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Well, thank you for coming on, Sage. We definitely appreciate you. Continue your mission and educating us to a better health.
Absolutely. I just want to let you know, always remember to take care of yourself, pour into yourself first, and always fill yourself up and give people your overflow. Never give people from your actual cup. Give them from the platter underneath. Always make sure that you all are taking time to refill yourselves.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You all have a great week.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.
I love that. I'm about to light my sage again. Get this energy right.
Right. I need some of that tea. Tea make you go to sleep. Because I need some. I was up all night last night.
Perfect Peace. It's called Perfect Peace. And she does like custom batches and stuff. And it's very like you would have to have one of those like the tea drainers, like that but it's really good. And it's very, very potent. So I love that about her teas. But yeah. Definitely. We need to do more of that. I was like, come on through, Miss Berry, with this.
Oh, I'm all about that.
And she was loving it too, because that's her name. I was like, wow. Yeah, it seemed like you could really get into that too, Miss Berry. So do you do tea?
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, I actually have a CBD line myself. I haven't even shared that with you guys yet. So I have a whole health and wellness line, luxuriant, and I'm all about wellness. Like I gotta be spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, all of that, because so many people in my family have gone through things. So many of my friends have gone through things. So I'm all about that tea life, and especially that CBD life.
Well, I'm about that CBD life too, because
girl, I'm gonna send you some stuff.
Look, I anoint up every night with that CBD. Y'all, with these businesses and like all this stuff going on, like seriously,
it's so important. I have some bath stuff for you. I want to send you the bath stuff.
Oh,
what's that? What's that?
I'm gonna go grab it. We're gonna do the next guest, and I'll share it after that.
Yes. We're gonna. Well, right now she's trying to look like she's trying to get on, but yeah, you got to share more of this. It's really blurry for some reason, the video or the camera. But yeah, Miss Berry, you holding out.
I'll be holding out.
Got the CBD going. You got all this Zen going. You need to put me a Portia and Romeo on. Come on.
Oh, Romeo definitely needs some. I'm gonna send you a nice batch.
First of all,
for your planning.
Let's be clear, super clear. Romeo does this life for real. This is all natural. Everything on Romeo was all natural. I don't need help, oil, sage, none of that. It's called water, eating right, and knowing your body. How about that?
But Romeo, I think the CBD is natural. That's from the earth.
It is. It is.
But
I need my CBD in my tea. Maybe
I got you, girl.
Okay.
I do have CBD
There,
too.
listen, we need to exchange. I'm so serious. Like,
Yeah. I got y'all.
don't listen to Romeo. He talking that stuff.
Oh, I'm not listening to him.
Sis, I'm promoting. Let's go. Let's get it. We need it. It's natural.
I got
on,
you, girl.
Duke
I got
Ellington.
you, girl.
Let them know.
I got you.
I'm serious, for real. Like for real. Anytime a black person add 2 for reals, they for real.
Right.
Like,
Super for real.
Exactly.
Once is not for play.
You know what, Romeo? I'm surprised because you are always in a Zen moment, and you always like I see you on the beach. I mean, come on,
Right.
are you serious? Why you going?
Where my sage at? Do I gotta sage again? I gotta energize this Zoom call.
She finna put it on you. She finna put it on you.
Facebook.
I need to hypnotize him.
Romeo.
Team Romeo. Let's go, D.
Oh, it's a versus.
Wow.
Plus,
wow.
I've figured out the whole system though, tied to this Zen thing. Like everybody else don't do this. Like I wake up in the morning. This might sound crazy. I spend 20 minutes in the mirror. I tell myself I'm beautiful. I'm bad. I'm the tightest dude on the planet.
Okay,
like I mentally put myself at a place that when I start my day, I'm untouchable. That right there just flows through. So nothing else really matters throughout my day. Like you can't stop my day unless you Jesus or my mama. So technically, I do whatever I want to do. Who gonna tell me? Team Romeo, who gonna tell us no? Team Romeo, tell them. Nobody can't tell us.
Who gonna check me, boo?
Well, I'm gonna do all my practices. I'm gonna read my books. I'm a sage. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna do my yoga. I'm gonna meditate. I'm gonna go to therapy because that's what I do. I do it all.
Because I think what the problem is in black communities or black people, I think a lot of people don't know how to wake up with themselves and go to sleep. If that makes sense. Like a lot of people don't know how to wake up and be acceptable of themselves. Like, hey, I am beautiful. I am strong. I am, powerful. A lot of people question that. Good morning, Lee. You're on mute.
Good morning.
See that beautiful smile right there? See, I can wake up to that right there. I can wake up to.
Yes, the camera is so much better.
My laptop, it wasn't.
Can you turn it horizontal? Yeah.
There we go.
There we go.
Extra talking about landscape.
That's
it. Got a Christmas tree in the back, y'all.
Back here.
She ready.
Ready.
I'm ready. Like I'm ready to put the lights on and everything. I'm ready.
Time together.
You like me, Lee. I'm like, like after Halloween, it's like, but you know what? It's gonna go up like this week. I'm ready.
The Christmas
spirit. We need
that
spirit. Yeah, we need that spirit.
So you see, the guests, everybody on. We got Romeo International, Tiara Berry, and Portia, Mrs. Lola Bunny, Monique Honey. Welcome to our show. Lee, go ahead and introduce yourself to our audience members. And we'll jump right in.
My name is Lee Whetstone. I'm the founder and editor-in-chief of Leading with Lee magazine, and I'm a purpose and brand coach. So what our magazine do is we highlight success stories of boss millennials and Black entrepreneurs to give them, to give the voice to the voiceless, basically.
I really love that because Romeo, I think about your platform as a DJ, and a lot of the times we like that are behind the scenes, or we get the party jumping like Romeo would do as a DJ, or me as a makeup artist. When you see this picture, you don't see who made that beat face or anything like that. So you really give back and spotlight those people that are not in the spotlight, but make the magic happen.
Yes.
So what made you go there? Like, what made you start to tap into, let me talk about these behind the scenes people, because they really need the platform. And we've seen in this pandemic, Black people, we became new, right? And it was like, oh, these Black people hot. Let's see. Okay, let's get them. And it's like, why haven't we done that all along? So tell us a little bit, why, what made you do that or go for that population?
The behind the scenes issue, I'm a little stuffy, guys, but the behind the scenes issue, it's very important, because being in the magazine industry for about 6 years, I've noticed that a lot of people weren't getting credit for what they're doing behind the scenes, and I was one of them. So that's exactly why I did this, because everyone could say, everyone could be anything, right? They're making their own thing in their own industry, but at the same time, we need to know who's behind the scene, who are the creatives, who are the Black creatives, because the Black community is creative. They are creative, right? So we need to highlight those photographers. We need to highlight those makeup artists. We need to highlight those interior designers, the wardrobe stylists. We need to highlight everyone that's making everyone else shine. So that's exactly I wanted to do that. That's exactly what I was behind it not getting my shine. So I was like, oh wait, we need to do a whole series about this.
It's funny you say that. Like, dang, you just came right on time. First of all, I love the beauty in that skin. Number one, let's just go there.
And my lips, thanks to Ty.
Oh, yes. Come through, beauty Ty. Yes.
But I was literally just watching the other day a behind the scenes footage of Lovecraft Country, and what I noticed was all of these Black film directors, set directors, like all of these Black people who are creating all of this magic that I would have never known if they wouldn't have. I would have never known if they wouldn't have showed, that portion, and it made me really appreciate the power of us, the craft of us, because, like you said, not only is it not seen, it's damn near rarely spoke about, and these are the people that literally
make it happen,
give you the enjoyment that you're watching more than the actors. So I love it, man. You need to write about me. You need me to send my hold on. Let me send you my stuff.
Information. And so the whole movement behind the magazine, first two reasons was I'm from Brooklyn, New York, so I've seen the good.
Yes, Brooklyn.
Right. So I've noticed that in the cities there weren't a lot of people that was exposed to resources. I was blessed enough to go to college, to, experience the corporate life, different cultures, and, doing all these other things. And then, when I hear people in the corner store talking about they've never been to Manhattan when it's just like a 30-minute ride on the train, or if they asking people for $1, I was like, oh no, this is, they need a resource where they can see that people in their neighborhood unsafe is actually making it out here. So, that's one of the reasons. And the second reason is the support. Everybody that's been featured has been partnered with other millennials and gain the support of their peers, and, gain recognition elsewhere and develop new clients and new customers, because we need that support. So it's a 2-in-1. It's a 2-in-1.
Tell me this, how do you get how do you identify the people that you feature in your magazine?
Stalk everyone on Instagram now.
No, that's right.
Because they are behind the scenes and they're not out there, so it's like pulling teeth. Like,
and a lot of people do things and don't even look to be celebrated. They're so focused on being in their craft and doing their part and being a part of something that they feel is bigger than them, that a lot of people fail to celebrate themselves.
And I get that a lot too. But before Instagram blew up, like really, about 6 years ago, I was just going to a lot of events. I was going to a lot of events. I was meeting people. I had a lot of dope people that I went to college with that they was doing their thing. So I started off with them. I'm doing a magazine. I want to help motivate the inner city people, but at the same time, I want to celebrate what you have. I want to highlight your success story. So, we expanded to not just featuring people, but to also help them with their brand message, their campaigns, because I noticed that a lot of people needed help with that. Photos, everything that they need to be featured in a magazine, their press kit. We started helping them with that because a lot of people didn't have that in the background.
I love it. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Romeo.
No, because I didn't want to sound negative. I was gonna say, but you to Portia's question when she asked how do you find these people, what I've noticed is that within other races and cultures, like it's announced. Like I don't know what it is with some of us. We don't announce, makeup by, photo by, so and so by. Like we will not put that in there out of fear that the person that we're in competition with might be like, well, if Ty look that good, I want to use the same people that Ty look. But other people, they'll tag their people quick. I've noticed that.
I love that you brought that up because that's all our magazine do is highlight every single body. Like no one gets left out. If anyone was a part of a project or if they want to be featured and highlighted, like we don't leave anyone out. We even ask for the photographer's name when we feature people. If there is a photographer, like we highlight everybody. We want everyone to be included. Happy you brought that up.
I love that because a lot of the times, I guess in social media age, you're also giving a light to career opportunities that people may not see. That like when we think about, football and, they're like, oh, I want to be a football player. Oh, I want to be this. I want to be that. They never go into depth to talk about the people that really created. But Lee, thank you so very much. We love what you're doing. We love that you are highlighting people like ourselves on this call, and also people out there. Tell our guests how they can find you and follow your mission.
So our website is leadingwithlee.com and the Instagram is LWL Magazine and Twitter. Everything.
Yes, thank you so much. I have personally used Lee. She's been quite a blessing to me. And with my whole brand campaign, and she killed it, y'all. It's one of the reasons why I also got featured in Yahoo Finance. Wow. So listen, she is the truth. So if you are not following her and you are not taking her seriously, you're not taking yourself seriously. So Lee, thank you so very much for joining us. Romeo, get at her. Like she is the best.
Gotcha.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, guys.
Bye. Love a woman with a plan.
Here we go, Jesus.
So y'all, I did want to show, I got my CBD stuff right here. Yeah. And I need to take a gummy now because I'm dealing with Romeo this morning.
Wait a minute. You got gummies too?
Girl, I got gummies.
While we at work, Tiara?
It don't make you high. It don't make you high.
Okay. It makes you zen, relax. It has nothing about it is intoxicating. It's just going to mellow you out. Thank you for that.
I have never
MG on it.
I have never seen the corporate side of Portia come out so quick. Hey, hold on, time out.
She was like, wait a minute.
But yes, disclosure for everybody.
It's not weed. It's not like marijuana. Yeah.
It's not. It's all legal. That's why I'm able to sell it and put it on my website and all of those different things. It's a lot of different barriers within the cannabis industry, especially when it comes to Black people getting involved. So that's the reason why I got into it. But it is really helpful. It does have really great positive effects. And I just wanted to share that. So I also have my bath salts.
Come through. This call is being sponsored by. Okay.
This is sponsored by Luxuriant. And I actually too have pre-rolls. So if y'all like to smoke, I got those too.
Girl,
and no, it's not going to get you high.
I don't know if we can advertise the pre-rolls. We got the bath bombs and the
No. We can do it.
Yes.
Y'all know I'm a L7. I'm a square. I don't even know. I don't even damn know.
Portia,
I would have to do a whole segment talking about the benefits of CBD and all of that. It's so much to get.
You can do that at Peace and Purpose. You can actually have it at the conference. We can do all that on the conference so that we can also get a check.
Yeah, I was
check, and check. Next guest is here. So let's keep on moving. Portia.
Hey, know that we do have a track at Peace and Purpose for CBD, but
yes.
Yeah, you got to get into it. It is thebomb.com. I can't wait until Peace
Ty,
and
I'm going to send you a
Purpose.
link and an affiliate code so you could get your discounts and get paid and all of that.
Please, I need that. I will definitely support you, sis. I'm in. I use it, so. And Portia, you know how conservative I am, girl.
I know. I don't know the effects, right? So I don't necessarily. I just don't know because I just don't.
Yeah, I've done the roll. I've done the gummies. I do the oil, the lotion, like all of. I do. It's very calming. Like it's no high or anything like that. It's just really, really soothing. It is a natural herb, and a lot of people tag that to marijuana, but it's
not the same effect. It's not the intoxication.
Like you're not gonna get popped. Yeah. Like if you go and you get drug tested, no, it's.
So I need to learn more about it. Obviously, I just be hearing about it and I be saying that I want it in my teas and all that. So
I'm on the lookout for Peace and Purpose, and we're gonna have a whole platform on CBD, right, Portia?
Yes.
We are, and Munson so eloquently stated that. So nonetheless, we do have another section. Halloween is coming up this Saturday, y'all. Y'all know that. And in honor of Halloween, we're dressing up all week. But I did get a chance to talk to Omari Hart, who is starring in the film Spell. He's starring alongside Loretta.
Wait a minute, Portia. Why did you hold it?
Right.
Oh, it was embargoed. And
talk to Omari Hardwick.
So anyway, I do
Did you have on this buddy outfit?
No, I didn't. I had a retro outfit though. That was the day that I had on my little retro outfit.
Oh, okay.
All right. You dressed up regardless.
So right. The film is coming out on the 30th, not the 31st. So it's coming out. And if you guys haven't seen the trailer for it, it's phenomenal. It's definitely a different role for him. But let's check out the interview, y'all. Let's go ahead and check it out.
Let's check this.
Historically Black colleges and universities are different.
We're going to wait for that commercial to play.
That's right.
OpenOut.com right now. And as soon as the commercial finishes playing, then
gonna load it up.
The movie is dope. I advise
you seen
everybody.
It?
No, yes.
It is. Movie. Portia's interview is
gonna get an exclusive. Look.
Well, Portia's interview is gonna be dope, and then tomorrow I'm gonna be releasing my interview with the director. So the movie's dope though. It's a new role. It's a new role for him, Portia. It's a
new role for him. We see him in more of a vulnerable state, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because we always see him as, you know, this powerful man. So anyway, we talk about it in the interview. Let's go ahead and roll it, y'all. We are here live with Omari Hardwick, and we're talking about his new film thriller for Halloween, Spell. So I did get a chance to watch it. It is amazing. I've got a lot of questions. Don't want to necessarily spoil it, but tell us about your character. You play a father. You're a lawyer. You're very intelligent. You can tell. You're wealthy. You have family, you know, issues, whatnot, such as everybody. But tell us about your role and your character, Marquise, in Spell.
I'll start with the latter part of your question. Yes, he does come from a family that's got, you know, as you said, some ills or some dirt, like everybody's family. But what you soon learn with Marquise is that the level of dirt and the connector to the dirt, and literally being that of the country in the backwoods, as Loretta brilliantly states, her pronunciation perfect as Eloise in talking about the backwoods of the Appalachian world that they come from. There's some real abuse. There's some dysfunctional components to what was around the abuse. A lot of it has to do with what their beliefs were within the community. A lot of it has to do with the spiritual component connected to voodoo and hoodoo, and then Christianity, either above that as an umbrella or underneath that as a foundation. And then when you put that in a pot and shake it all together, and you know that he was in the middle of all of that, but being abused while being in that pot, being literally shaken up by his father, it makes sense that, as you said, now he looks the part. And the part being that of the big city guy with the right suit, the right wife, the kids, the long house, the long car, the long driveway, and the long wallet. And he doesn't think anything different. He thinks, hey, we're taking this flight to my father's, homegoing as he's passed away, and we're going to honor him as much as he might not necessarily want to go back because he has these weird memories about what that's like. All of a sudden, he's jettisoned back to not only the weird memories, but to the punishment of having outrun him. Yeah. And if anything, it almost speaks to, they definitely say karma will find you, and it does in this sense, and it doesn't really obviously need Google Maps or Waze. Karma can find you no matter how quickly the plane goes down.
Never misses anyone. Karma never ever misses anyone.
It never does.
So we've seen you in amazing roles. You kill them all, no pun intended, with this movie.
I appreciate it.
But how has your role of Marquise differed from other roles that you've played? I mean, because you still are, you still have that power, no pun intended again, but you're still that force to be reckoned with, that everyone respects and bows down to when you walk in the room. So how has this role as Marquise differed from your other roles?
The other roles did match. That's a great question. The other roles did match more of where I was. They paralleled it more. They were more manly, dare I say, not just from the alpha male standpoint, but also being found. They were the man that, that you and millions of others would rather go to war with. That being a man who knows why he's going, who knows where he's going, and knows, how to take care of everybody else that he's taken into battle. This guy felt like that, but then for the majority of the movie, I'm playing the brokenness of an 8-year-old who's really, really trying to get to the teenage years, who's really, really trying to get to the 20s, who's really trying to get to the place that Omari got to in life enough, inclusive in that being one with my flaws and all the bullshit about Omari, to be able to then bring these characters to life that y'all root for. I had to go backwards in all the uglies that I felt about Omari at some point, that we all feel about ourselves and trying to figure out pubescent moments of life, puberty, maturation, the discomfort of growth. I had to dive into it in a space that I hadn't done with a prior character. Marquise is the most hazardous and the most grueling character that I've ever played.
Yeah, we did get a chance to see the transition from the alpha male into the adolescent, so to speak, when you couldn't move in the movie. What is the one thing that you want people to walk away with? Because we got to wrap. So what's the one thing that you want people to walk away with from this original screenplay? Amazing, by the way.
Amazing. Yeah. The writer was Kurt, so shout outs to him. He nailed it. He was so gifted in what he gave us to work with. I think I want them to walk away first and foremost having fun. First off, even if it's through fear, even if, you want to lightly tiptoe into that space called this movie, having fun. And also just being open without judgment to, this might be the second thing. The third would be shout outs to Jordan Peele for doing what he did, that we are in this space now and the world has to take notice of us in this genre. But the second being, people do different things custom-wise, tradition-wise, historically. People do different things, the voodoo, the hoodoo, the Christianity mixed in, to not judge it, but to almost use it as a learning curve. Like, oh, I don't know this side of our world. We should know it. And maybe to challenge themselves to look in the mirror and go, have I tried to outrun my past? Like, maybe I should check back in with it before going forward. Those are the things. Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, we can't wait to see it. Spell is definitely different. It's definitely original. I think you played your ass off in the movie. So shout out to you. Amazing. Loretta Devine was simply divine. Simply divine. Absolutely. So everyone has to go see it. Movie out October 30th and on streaming platforms. We're gonna make sure that we tune in on the 30th to catch it.
I appreciate that so much. And shout outs to Ronald. Shout outs to the Aid. Munson Steed, Foundations, Roots, all of that stuff we talked about. Shout outs. Peace.
All right. Thanks, Omari. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I appreciate you back. That's it.
So I had fun with him.
I'm excited.
We talked about, well, of course, y'all saw that he gave a shout out.
Look at me and Romeo, both of us like.
So it was fun. It's out and I want to say theaters, but ain't nobody going to the theaters, right? So it's out on all streaming platforms on the 30th. Be sure to catch it, watch it, all of that. I had fun with Omari, y'all.
I love the genre. Like
Romeo, we
right. Come on.
What?
Me and Ty waiting. We know we waiting. Come on. Come on, Portia.
It was a good interview. What y'all doing?
Hey, Portia.
Portia, that was my first time interviewing him. Like we go way back.
You know what? I ain't letting this go. After I guess, I'm gonna light you up after I guess. Good morning.
We gotta come back. Yeah.
Thank God for guests. Thank God for guests.
all the way from LA, Asante, Aizy. Going on, man. Welcome to Rolling Out AM Morning Show, fellas. What's going on?
Thank you. Hey, what's up? How you doing?
What's up? What's up? Thanks for having us.
Did we wake y'all up? Y'all good? Did we wake y'all up?
We good.
Hey, man. Welcome to the Rolling Out AM Morning Show. Myself, Portia Monique, Tiara Berry, Ty Cooper, man. As y'all, all of y'all already know Asante from all his great movies and things he's done, but him and his dad have partnered up and they got this great thing going on. Tell us what y'all got going on, man.
Yeah, so what we had going on is it's an anthology series on Netflix called Social Distance. It's an 8-part anthology series, and the episode that we're in, we're actually in episode number 8. And basically in this particular episode, what we're talking about is, what's going on today in the world in terms of, just the racial injustice, upheaval, and, a lot of the protests that are occurring, particularly after George Floyd's killing. And so we're tackling that. We're also tackling the pandemic and not just in our episode, but all of the episodes are really looking at how people are navigating and negotiating this space during this pandemic time. So, I'm an employer in the episode. He's my employee. And, we're tussling intellectually in terms of what's the most appropriate way to deal with the pandemic, deal with the protests, and just how do we deal with this space that we're in.
So I'm going to kick off the first question because I was curious, right? How do you, as a dad, how do you maintain a social responsibility? And then, because even though Asante doing his thing, you still got to protect him and make sure that his voice is protected. But you also got to be a voice for, the Black community as a father. I think it's so, I think what's dope about dads is y'all have to approach it from 5 different playing fields: family, yourself, being a Black man, your son. More, I would say your son more than your daughter, but you know what I'm saying? How do you approach that space?
Yeah, really, and you're absolutely right. We do always have to have our heads on the swivel. And so it's always looking at it from different angles and trying to see what's the most effective way, what's the most appropriate way to be a dad and to honor their voices. Like Asante's the oldest of 5. And so just, making sure that everybody's voice is heard and constantly being in communication with them. Just ensuring that, we're constantly informing them, making sure that they're aware of what's going on out here in the social climate, and then also making sure that they're connected with their history and knowing that this isn't a new thing. Not only have we had historical experiences in the past that have deeply scarred us and wounded us, but just we as people of African descent, we've also overcome a great deal of adversity, and we're strong and we're resilient. So just making sure that they're informed and they understand who we are and what we have the capacity to overcome keeps them grounded and knowing that we can get through this as well.
Ladies, because I can keep going.
Well, I do love it. Go ahead, Tiara.
So I want to know, when it comes to just making content and thinking about how there's different generations that are
in this moment. So we might have this Gen Z, then we have the millennials, then we have a little older age, then we have the baby boomers. How are you guys noticing the fact that there's different generations experiencing this moment, and how do you have conversations where there might be different points of view?
I think this episode kind of tackles it pretty well, you know. Well, I don't actually. Well, I mean, the episode tackles it pretty well, but I think that the outcome of what happens in the episode isn't necessarily what we might want. I think that these conversations, they definitely need to be had, but I feel like there needs to be a lot more room for understanding, honestly, between different generations. You know, in our episode, you see John and Corey. You know, they're disagreeing on how we tackle racism and social justice. And it kind of, leads to, them screaming at each other and yelling at each other and kind of have a bit of a falling out. But that's why I love this episode so much, because to me, it's almost as if it could kind of be seen as a cautionary tale. You know, we don't necessarily want that. You know, we don't want it to be where, we're disagreeing to that much to where there's a divide in the community. You know, we want to make sure that we are able to listen to each other, we're able to hear each other, so that we can basically come up with a solution. And even if we don't necessarily agree, we still find the value in each other's opinions, find the value in each other's solutions, so that we can, come up with something together to keep moving forward instead of, probably move backwards since we're divided. So I think that that's what, people should try to take from this episode too, is don't let our differences within the community divide us, especially in this time where we need to be united more than ever.
But what's so crazy about that, Asante, is I get the point that you're making. I think the difficult part, like you said, is the understanding, because people still trying to figure out how to social distance. Like that's a between the current administration and what we hear and what we see, like people still trying to figure out how to interact with people. The funniest thing, I literally, for the first time, went to an event and I didn't even know how to interact no more. I was like, hey, how y'all doing? Y'all good?
Yeah. So the series was conceived at the beginning of the pandemic, right? So during the beginning months, and it focuses on how family, friends, and couples were forced to cope with the effects of the quarantine. How did you guys end up filming it? And what were some of the challenges that you came into while doing this at the beginning of the pandemic?
Yeah, in terms of us filming it, we did it in a very socially distanced way, like on set here, which was really at our house. There were only 3 crew members, two, one camera person, and then one audio person. And fundamentally, what they were doing is telling us what to do in terms of how to mic ourselves up. And then we had to readjust and reposition the cameras. We had to lift up speakers. And so we were basically doing a lot of it on our own. So they were making sure that even if they had to come out there and do some adjustments themselves, we actually had to go back in the house to allow them the space to do what they were doing. And so they actually made sure that they were doing it in a very responsible and socially distanced way. And I think that it came out pretty well. It was, really us expanding our repertoire in terms of what we knew how to do. Actually, I didn't know how to do any of it. But what we had to do in terms of making sure that we were not just actors, but we were also audio and visual too. So
I love it. So you guys gained new skills.
Yeah.
Got some new things added to the resume. Yeah.
Hey man, tell the truth. How is it working with Dad? Not a joke. We ain't got to
Right. So the storyline, did it have any real, so to speak,
like a resemblance to their real lives?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I would say so. For me, being his father, John in the story is Corey's employer. And so, he takes a sort of mentorship type role over Corey. And really he's concerned about just the well-being of Corey. And he's also concerned about the well-being of his business as well. And so, in our relationship, father-son relationship, as his dad, I'm concerned about his well-being. I'm concerned not just about him, but also the well-being of my family. And so my position would be one, like, if you can go out there and protest, is it going to be effective? Is it going to be responsible in terms of how you're doing it? in today's time dealing with quarantine. So, you know, I'm overly concerned about what the repercussions may be if you do make that decision. Yes, you do need to get out there and raise your voice, but at the same time, too, are there other things that could be done as well, which he's done. And so I'm very proud of him for doing that.
Yeah, we actually had a conversation pretty similar to what, you know, John and Corey are discussing in this episode. It definitely didn't, you know, blow up in the way that theirs did.
Yeah.
But we had that conversation where I was, you know, when it was actually right after the George Floyd video came out, and I was like, I want to get out there and protest. You know, I was seeing my friends getting out there and protest, and I was like, I want to get out there and protest. But you know, my mom and my dad, they were kind of like, you know, I really have to take into consideration everything that's still happening in the world right now. You know, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. You know, like my dad said, I'm the oldest of 5 siblings. So I have 4 other younger siblings that I got to think about, and then the rest of my family. So you know, I think, and that, you know, and I think that actually the way that, you know, we kind of figured it out and what they were saying, and exactly what my dad just said is, you know, figuring out different ways to try to tackle racism. I think that that's exactly what we kind of hope would have happened with John and Corey in this episode. Instead of them having to fall out, you know, they would have just listened to each other and figure out a compromise, I guess.
Well, I'm definitely glad y'all checked in this morning, man. I know we're going to check in this afternoon. And I'm glad you said it, because I tell people all the time, you got to have a plan of action. It just can't be an action. Like, it can't, the world different now. It just can't be an action. You got to have a plan, attack to that action, man. Social Distance is on Netflix right now, right? Everybody can go see it right now.
Yes. Yeah.
That's what's up. So I appreciate you guys for checking in, and I look forward to talking to y'all this afternoon, man, about some real life stuff, man. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, guys.
Okay, thank you. Y'all take care.
Yeah. All right, see you guys later.
And Corey got one on.
I would love to see like parents and their children side by side, and you can see when they look so much alike, and they have like a lot of the same mannerisms, the way they carry themselves. It's so cool to me.
Speaking of mannerisms, where's Ty? Let's get back to these mannerisms.
Ty.
Uh-oh. What y'all talking about?
Ty, where you at? Put your nose back on. Cause you ain't sliding with this joint.
Oh, Romeo.
If y'all didn't catch that, Ty, can I go first, Ty? Let me tell y'all something. If y'all didn't catch that and that Amari Hardwick interview, I'm gonna replay Portia. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go.
Costume time and scene.
Yeah, it was great. It was so wonderful. Yeah. Okay. What you say? Portia ain't heard not one word this man said. What? Okay. And then on top of that, where the guns come from? She ain't never pulled out the guns. Portia pulled out the gun, and they was in the camera shot.
Lord Jesus.
Portia, me and Ty look. Portia ain't never had the guns in the camera shot. They in the camera shot.
Oh my God. Y'all listening.
That was a great interview, Portia.
Thank you, Tiara.
The lighting was just
the dialogue was amazing.
Yeah, Tiara.
The lighting was just right. The makeup was all teed up. I'm like, who is this?
Okay, that was last week, y'all. Yeah.
Who did woman? Who did woman?
Who is this? Yes. But it was great. You know, you're so powerful and you so strong. Like, how many S's are you gonna put in a word?
So we had a little bit of banter back and forth before they started filming, and he was like, "Oh, you dressed up for me, huh?" I was like,
"No, he didn't say that. He said that."
He did.
See?
Oh my gosh, Ty, close your mouth.
See, me and Ty know. Portia, look, Sierra.
Thank you, Tiara.
My name is Bennett. I ain't in it. Great interview.
Portia don't look like that in no other interview. I guarantee you. Pull the footage. Portia don't look nothing like that ever.
I can't believe he said it. I can't believe he said, "Oh,
yeah,
you
that is shocking
up for me." Like,
yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, we go.
He was just complimenting a friend.
That was nice.
My friend, y'all. In my head. Anyway, let's move on. We got Tiara's report.
Yeah, we're gonna move on.
Got one more side.
Let's move on.
It just shocked me and Romeo. That's it. That's all.
All right. So it's really cool that Kevin Hart and Charlemagne signed a multi-year deal with Audible, and they will be producing content to amplify Black voices. So shout out to these two Black men, both using their platforms to lift up other people in the community, get other people's voices heard, and they're teaming up with these really large corporations who do have money to give out to us. So shout out to them for being those people who are dedicated to not only lifting up their own platforms, but for giving other people opportunity as well.
I'm proud of Charlemagne though, y'all, because when Charlemagne first started out, his content and his mouth was on premium. Like he talked about all kinds of stuff, and now he's using his platform from the Wendy Williams days to now like trying to talk about his mental health and like really just changing. He's done like a 180, I would say. Yeah.
People evolve.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good word. He has evolved. We see him changing, even when he's been to our RIDE conference and his discussion and how he poured back to everybody. It was amazing, and we seen a different Charlemagne whenever he was there, when we were all like, oh, he about to go for some mess, he about to go for the dirt, he's about to do this, he's about to do that. Whenever you meet him in person, he's totally different. He's totally supportive. And I just like this Black man and where he's going and how he's taking his platform to help his people.
Love it. Shout out to Charlemagne. Shout out to Kevin Hart too.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got another report. Where we going?
The social report.
Yeah, social report.
Hey, this is Romeo, and this is the social report, and I hope that it's ready to report wherever you want to go, Ashley. Okay.
Blink, blink, blink.
Blink, blink, blink. Yeah, man. The confrontation that's going on in Philadelphia. First of all, shout out my prayers to Philadelphia, because I know Philly wild. Y'all cannot turn that city up. Black people, I understand you mad. You cannot shoot the city up. The confrontation that cost 27-year-old Walter Wallace Jr. his life on Monday afternoon set off a protest that devolved into rioting and looting and led up to 30 cops being injured and 91 people being arrested, officials said. And they are still fighting in that city. Look, y'all got guns, the cop got guns. Bullets do not have a direction on who they gonna hit. Okay. That's my thought. That's what I'm gonna leave it at.
I didn't watch the shooting. I didn't watch the actual shooting because I just
it was horrific. The stomach. The whole idea of this man, he had a mental health issue. He had a knife, and I'm gonna say it again, he had a mental health issue. So in no way should that warrant him getting shot because he has a mental health issue. These cops are not doing their jobs correctly.
And his mom was very vocal about saying that he has a mental health issue. She was very vocal about saying, don't shoot him because he has a mental health issue. Yes, he had a gun. Yes, he had a knife, but it wasn't a gun. And you guys could have subdued him. They could have taken him down. They have training, supposedly. Like it should have gone a totally different way. But like I said, I didn't watch it. I just can't internalize another shooting for the whole world to see when we already know what environment we're in. Like George Floyd was enough. Like Jacob
Rice was enough. Like Trayvon Martin was enough.
Yes, it's enough. Like let's just get these people into training. And I really am for defunding the police department that has the corrupt people in it, the undercover KKK, the undercover racist people in it. Like let's defund them and bring something back. Like just dismantle the whole thing and bring another police force on, because the one that we have right now
just not working. No, it's not working.
This is not.
Next up on the social report,
ain't nothing to say after that. It's kind of
I was waiting on Ty. All right, so check this out. First of all, if this happens, I'm whooping somebody's ass. So, Burger King has created this Halloween terror inside of Burger King. If you go into the Burger King bathroom and say "Council Clown" 3 times, this clown will appear
I'm not playing these games.
In the movie screen. The council clown is a front of mirror that Burger King bathrooms. What happens is once you say it, the bathroom turns dark, or the light. You say it 3 times. The bathroom lights go out.
That's not funny, y'all.
The bathroom lights go out, and this is a special effect feature that they're doing for a Halloween campaign. So let me tell you something.
I didn't know that these fast food restaurants really had this type of beef with each other. Like, they really be going at it on Twitter. Like, they really can't stand each other.
You know, it's sad because I think about the customer service inside of those restaurants. And I'm like, so y'all really gonna put all these dollars into changing some GD? Yeah, I said GD. Y'all know what that stands for. Lights. You changing some GD lights. You changing mirrors. You doing all this stuff. And you need to train your people how to really service and give customer service, good customer service. And if you're going to do anything right now, we're in the middle of a goddamn pandemic and you trying to change some damn lights in a bathroom.
First of all, why would you even walk into the bathrooms?
Like, stop. If anything, black it out and say Black Lives Matter. Black it out and do something different. Like, what the hell? What is that message? Yeah, that's some demonic mess that I'm not here for ever, today, tomorrow, or next year.
Absolutely.
Or years coming. I'm like, what the hell? You doing all of this?
Summon no clown.
You right, Miss Berry. Clowns. They are some clowns for this mess. I'm like, what the hell? Y'all doing? Imagine how much money that costs. Like, seriously. Okay, I'm done.
Go fix the ice cream machines. Do that.
Oh Lord Jesus. Okay.
Right, sanitize these bathrooms. We shouldn't even be going in the bathrooms. And yeah, I'm done. I'm done. You know, I'm trying to be done.
Keep going.
It just makes no sense to me. Like, we are saying, and a lot of the places, they lock the door, so you can't even go in anyways. But you want us to go in there to look at a damn clown in the mirror? Like, come on. Come on. Seriously? Burger King, McDonald's, whoever it is, y'all come again. Just come again. I'm going to go off, and then I'm going to come back on. And how about that?
I guess Halloween is canceled at Burger King. Next up, I didn't know.
Let's keep going, y'all.
What happened? She might want to. What happened to her at Burger King? Hey, I don't know if y'all been watching this, but this is moving around socially because it came up. So there's a show on HBO called The Vow, and NXIVM cult leader Keith Raniere yesterday was sentenced to 120 years in jail. Now,
is the show about him? The Vow?
The show is about his platform, NXIVM. NXIVM was supposed to be a self-help community where people could come to the community, learn how to be better, teach how to be better, this, that, and the third. But undercover, he was branding women and having women be his sex slaves or part of his sex cult for over 8 years. Now, the reason that this was trending on social media all day yesterday, the question came up, the fact that if these women were of age, this is what, first of all, I already know how Tiara is. Get off my back. The question was, if these women were of age in their 30s and 40s, was he truly responsible for their actions or what they participated in?
So, okay, so you said branding. You mean physically branding, like with an iron, and
he would brand them right next to their stuff.
Were any of them underage?
No, all of them were in their 30s. So all the women were in their 25. They say 25 to 45.
What's the charge against them?
The charge against him is, I'm glad.
Somebody thought he did something wrong.
So the charges were sharing sexual, physical, and mental abuse. So sexual, physical, and mental abuse to women who majority were in their 30s, and the question came up. Well, racketeering charges, of course, as well. But
I'm like, there's a lot of people out here that need to be in jail if that's the charge. That's the only charge. I know some people that I can.
I mean, I can't remember what the actual syndrome is called, but there is a term for people who fall in love with their abuser, and it's a mental health condition in that sense. So yes, he had probably turned these women against themselves, and he was using the idea of self-help to do that. Like, that's sick behavior, and yes, he needs to be under the jail.
If they're in their 30s, and I'm just asking. I'm not for it. I'm just asking. His defense was they are women in their 30s. Right? Like,
I mean, in a sense, it is consensual, but you have to understand that there are mental health conditions that impact people's decision making. So at some point, they are considered impaired, despite the fact that they may be above the age of 18. You don't have to be a child to do childlike behavior.
That considered like white pimping? I'm no, it's
that's a term.
Anyway, y'all, we got one more story. I wanted to get to it today because I'm dressed as a bunny, and this came out recently. One of my girlfriends, she's a lawyer. She's actually called the Biz Lawyer, so she does trademark a lot. But Playboy filed a cease and desist order against Fashion Nova, basically saying that they needed to stop advertising their costume, which was the bunny costume. And my question is, how can they have them stop and desist, or send them a stop and desist, when you don't have a trademark on the bunny costume? Like, I obviously got one. I'm just saying. So basically it says, so here it is right here. Her name is Rosina, and she's known as the Biz Lawyer, and she specializes in trademarks. But basically she's saying, according to Business Wire, Playboy Enterprises has filed a lawsuit against Fashion Nova for infringing upon Playboy's world famous Playboy bunny costume.
So maybe it was trademarked.
But
Fashion Nova gets caught up in these type of suits all the time. There are a lot of different designers.
They're not listening. They like
black women designers. Yeah, because they get these type of situations all the time. I'm always seeing a black designer that I follow saying that Fashion Nova stole all of their stuff. It happens all the time.
Yeah, I heard that too. And a lot of fashion stylists and designers are talking about that, because they're almost like, I hate to say this, but it's almost like whenever an idea comes out, it's like China. They reproduce that thing. If it's popping, like, we'll see it. They'll manufacture it differently, and then they'll have it with their stamp on it. Yep. So it's just hard for me to believe, Portia, that Playboy doesn't have a trademark or copyright or something on that iconic costume.
So I think they do, but how do you enforce it? You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, they sent them a stop and deceased order, but I obviously got one. I didn't get mine from Fashion Nova. They sell the costumes out there. Like, how do you go out there and enforce every single person or every single company to tell them to stop selling their trademark?
Well, that's the thing. I think you have to be large enough for them to see you. Like with any trademarking. So for instance, let's say you wanted to trademark your vote necklaces, right? And which y'all should be voting. Okay, we there. So if you wanted to trademark your voting necklace, then you have to make sure that other organizations don't do that. But you also too, as if it is your trademark, you have the responsibility to tell them, here's your opportunity and window to cease and desist. You got 30 days to do it, blah, blah, blah. If you don't do it, then we can seek legal action. But if they have to actually reach out to you and say that, because we know there's a lot of bunny costumes and everything else that's out there, but they're big enough to have it be made noticed
to the brand of Playboy. Fashion Nova is taking a big part of their sales versus a lot of these smaller companies or costume places that they're only selling it once a year, or it's not that big of a deal. But Fashion Nova, they're cutting into Playboy's pockets.
So that's
when it becomes lethal.
But y'all, I was hoping that we had enough time to talk about this. Maybe I can get Rosalina to come on the show and we could talk about it more, but we got 2 minutes left for positive. So we're gonna have Tiara Berry kick it off.
I'll kick it off by saying practice self-care. Whichever way you think is the best way to practice self-care, do that. Practice it 24/7. As Sage said earlier, you cannot pour from an empty cup. You give people your overflow, but you have to keep yourself full first. I love that. I'm all about practicing self-care. Health and wellness is a lifestyle. And I'm going to pass the ball to Miss Ty Cooper.
I'm going to catch it. And like a little cat, I'm gonna catch that ball. No, I'm doing a Portia moment right now. Oh my! No, okay. I know we only got 1 minute, but I'm gonna go right in. Dress up, do something fun today. It is Hump Day Wednesday, Wellness Wednesday. Y'all get it all together. Go think outside of the box. Do something fun. Enjoy time with your family and friends. Love y'all. That's it. Peace and blessings. And I'm Portia. Throwing it over to my other kitty friend, Portia.
Okay, so I am a bunny today. I just want y'all to see that. I'm a bunny.
I love the little.
And so today we got 6 days left to vote, y'all. If y'all haven't already got your ballot, if you haven't pulled it up, make sure that you're doing that. If you haven't already voted, make sure that you go vote. Go get your neighbor, go get your cousin, go get your sister, go get your brother, go get everybody that you need to get, because we need to make change on next Tuesday, November 11th, so that we can look forward. November 3rd. Who said 11? November 3rd. November 3rd is election day. So make sure that everybody is getting to the vote. Get your booty to the polls. I'm throwing the ball to Romeo.
I'm not closing, am I? Am I closing?
Go ahead. Yeah. I don't know if the
spirit leads you.
Hold on. If closing, I gotta do this right. Hold on. Let me get into character. Thank you for joining us on Rolling Out. I need you guys to understand. The sun shines highest in the sky. It shines above you. So never look down and feel like there's a cloud over your head. You are a sunshine and a beacon of hope to your community, and that's what you should believe in. This is Romeo International. That is Portia Monique. That is Tiara Berry and Ty Cooper. And we thank you for joining Rolling Out in the AM. Have a great day.
And on that, y'all have a great day.
Bye, y'all.
Come back tomorrow. We dressing up again tomorrow. We doing this whole thing again tomorrow. See y'all soon. Peace.
He do a long stare. He do a long thing where he be like,
oh, you just fuck him up.
Oh my God.
Are you gonna say something to Steve?
Mr. Ellington, you there?
Ashley,
we still live. We still live.
To Steve.
Ashley, turn it off.
Okay, we gone, y'all.